Hi everyone, I'm Roxanne and I'm the Product Marketing Manager at ironSource. Today I'm going to talk to you about the mechanics of rewarded video, tech solutions for improving the user experience, and tips and best practices for building a strategy that maximizes retention and ARPDAU. But first, a little about ironSource. ironSource is the leading business platform for the app economy. We support developers as they launch, monetize, and scale their apps and games by providing solutions for app discovery, user growth, content monetization, analytics, and publishing. At ironSource, our growth strategy, product, and monetization teams collaborate to create winning monetization best practices for our publishers. I'm going to share with you some of our rewarded video best practices to ensure you maximize revenue and keep your users happy. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up. We'll start by reviewing the basics of rewarded video. Then I'll let you know why rewarded video is the king of ads. We'll talk about latency and tips to leverage progressive loading, the latest advance that reduces rewarded video latency to 0. This includes optimizing your placement strategy, A/B testing, and even implementing in-app bidding. Finally, we'll wrap things up with some key takeaways, and we should have enough time for a few questions at the end. Okay, are we ready? Let's go. Rewarded video ads are a crucial part of a game's economy. They seamlessly integrate with the game progression and positively contribute to the user's experience through the diversified placements and rewards they provide. This strengthens game retention and lays the foundation for strong engagement rate and usage rates, and in turn, ARPDAU. In general, there are some pretty standard rules to follow when it comes to maximizing rewarded video KPIs. First and foremost, you want to start thinking about your ad strategy from day one. And by day one, I mean the day you start planning your game and its flow. You want rewarded videos to be available at clean, natural pauses in the game's play so your users are more likely to engage with them. Optimizing your rewarded video ads is all about making them clear, accessible, and exciting to the audience. When your ads contain a clear value proposition, you increase the likelihood of engagement. That does take some understanding of what your players really want so you can identify the right incentives. For many audiences, dynamic rewards and unknown luck elements are fantastic ways to grab your audience's attention and get them to engage. You make them feel like winners with luck on their side, and you want that positivity to continue throughout the gameplay. Just make sure your users know what they've earned, inform them specifically about the reward, then smoothly transition them back to the game. When implemented smartly, rewarded video can become an essential part of a mobile game's core loop. And there's no doubt that the combination of positive retention and revenue growth is what makes rewarded video the king of all ad units. From a player's perspective, rewarded videos provide access to rewards that offer in-game currency or progression boosts, often at times when they're needed most. Users choose to interact with the ad, so the user experience trends positive. In fact, recent research by Facebook Audience Network indicates that 32% of gamers see rewarded video as being twice as useful as all other advertising formats. From a developer's perspective, rewarded videos are a truly meaningful revenue stream. Plus, rewarded video increases retention rates by enabling users to progress faster and enjoy premium content for free. We know that for up to 79% of developers running both in-app ads and in-app purchases, rewarded video was their most successful monetization format. But there is a bit of a downside to rewarded video, and that comes from latency. Latency refers to the time between loading an ad and having the ad ready to show. Good UX dictates that the developer makes sure an ad is ready at all times, since there's always a chance a user may decide to watch it. To drive good UX, video ads should be pre-downloaded on the device so that once they're initiated by the user, the ads can be viewed right away and with the best quality, unlike simple banner ads, for example, that can be downloaded on demand. This need to pre-cache is why there's often a gap between ad load and ad ready. That's also why, for rewarded videos, developers shouldn't load a video ad on demand. But we all know that delays can occur when the publisher's request to fill the ad space with an advertiser's ad isn't met, right? Typically, this is due to a lack of demand from the ad networks in that particular moment. It can take a few seconds for the ad request to be filled, or it might not be filled at all. And this is what latency looks like. And it sucks. The user tapped on the CTA expecting to watch an ad and earn a reward, but instead, she's left staring at a blank screen. This happens because of the developer's need to cache rewarded video ads. In some cases, this results in a delay, but in most cases, latency causes the player to not be able to watch an ad at all, resulting in a poor user experience and the potential loss of both revenue and retention. For years, developers have been trying to manage latency, reduce or remove latency to improve the user experience. If you want to know if the ad is served instantly after a user clicks on the CTA, or if there's a delay in filling the ad space that causes the user to stare at a blank screen. Generally, developers have three choices when managing latency's impact on the user experience. 1. Only show a rewarded video traffic driver when there's an ad ready to display. 2. Always display the traffic driver, and if the ad inventory isn't filled, let your users stare at a blank screen until they exit out. Or 3. Always display the traffic driver, and if the ad inventory isn't filled, show a pop-up that lets the user know there's nothing to see. The drawbacks of these options are clear. You harm the user experience, you harm the ARPDAU, or both. In recent years, developers have dedicated considerable time to optimizing their monetization strategy, typically through hybrid bidding and waterfall setups, to find the balance between sophisticated auctions and reduced latency. This means striking a balance between revenue and UX by trimming the size of the waterfall to reduce latency. This could require removing instances and segmentation that could delay the ad serving process. It's time-consuming, and it's not guaranteed to work because even the most optimized setup can't deliver zero latency. That's why you need to find a mediation platform that has dedicated technology to remove latency entirely. ironSource has developed an industry-first mechanism known as progressive loading that helps ensure a rewarded video ad is always available and ready to play with absolutely no waiting. This creates a perfect user experience by enabling users to watch even multiple rewarded video ads without a delay in between. It also means the end of latency management. With zero latency, rewarded videos start playing immediately. Progressive loading helps ensure there's always an ad ready to play, even when there's more than one video in a row. Since progressive loading was implemented in ironSource's mediation, we've seen revenue shoot up between 3 to 20% per app. This range of improvement is mainly affected by the genre. The deeper the game, the more significant the impact of progressive loading. Casual or mid-core games provide more opportunities for users to watch rewarded videos. They also have more complex in-game economies to which the rewards provide real value, so they benefit the most from progressive loading. Let's talk about how you can leverage zero latency to maximize your profits and retention from rewarded videos. I want to share with you some of our growth strategy team's tips to make the most of progressive loading. To maximize usage rates of your rewarded video ads and leverage the power of progressive loading, we recommend using stacked multiplier rewards for a strip of rewarded videos. For example, a player watches one video and unlocks a double your income for 4 hours reward. If she watches a second video, she'll get twice the income for 4 more hours, so she's received double income for 8 hours in total. You do want to remember, though, to add a limit to that cycle. Okay, tip number 2. Encourage users to watch several rewarded videos in a row to get a mystery box or even a specific reward. For example, you could offer players the ability to open a treasure chest by watching a rewarded video, and as soon as they open it, offer them the possibility of doubling their chest loot by watching another rewarded video. Tip number 3. Use the same video placement, but enable multiple views. For example, a player opens up a rewarded video on your game's home screen. Let her watch one video, then another, multiple times in a row. Each RV could offer a multiplier that doubles or triples the earnings from the previous ad. This is an especially good option for idle games that revolve around currency accumulation or scaling production. We've even seen amazing results with 7 videos in a row. You can only get that kind of interaction with zero latency, and ironSource's progressive loading makes that seemingly impossible tactic a reality. Okay, we've talked about design tips and leveraging progressive loading to make sure your rewarded video ads deliver with zero latency. But where should you place them for the best UX? One of the best attributes of rewarded video ads is their potential to be implemented in very creative and innovative ways that complement the game experience. Adding different types of rewarded videos and offering users progression or currency-based rewards at multiple spots through your game is an excellent strategy to increase retention and ARPDAU. What you can see in these graphs is the effect of a well-thought-out placement strategy one of ironSource's clients implemented in February, and the massive positive impact it had, an immediate 10% jump in engagement and 200% increase in ARPDAU. When you're planning out your rewarded video strategy, you want to keep these points in mind. You want to make sure you define a unique placement for every CTA. Continually monitor the engagement. Check the eCPM and revenue per placement. Test the rewards per placement in real time. Set different capping and pacing in real time. Segment your users. Let's dive in for some more detail. Tip number 1, add extra currency in the home screen. A permanent or even time-limited traffic driver will give players the option to earn rewards whenever they need them. That will extend the gameplay and keep them engaged. Just keep an eye out for in-app purchase cannibalization and adjust accordingly if you see your IAPs start to drop. Tip number 2, extra currency in your game's shop. A player's presence in the store shows their intent to access premium content. Since most users won't spend any real money in your shop, let them watch an ad in return for rewards that can be used to unlock premium items. These are the current benchmarks for currency rewards. In hyper-casual games, for example, you can see that the average engagement rate inside the game's shop is 7%, while in the homepage, it's 13%. For mid-core games, that engagement rate jumps to 16%. With progressive loading, solid traffic drivers, and clear messaging, you should be able to achieve these numbers. Tip number 3, use progression-based rewards. When a user fails a level, you can use a progression-based reward, like an extra life, that lets them keep playing in exchange for watching a rewarded video. In some games, developers let players automatically gain an extra life without watching an ad, but they have to wait a minute or more to receive it. As a time-saving alternative, players can open the rewarded video ad to gain the extra life and resume their play session. Our benchmark for these rewards is 20% engagement. Again, you'll want to keep an eye on your data and optimize accordingly if you're not hitting this kind of target. Tip number 4, add a multiplier at the end of a level. When a user completes a level and earns a prize, offer the opportunity to double or triple its value by watching a rewarded video ad. Users feel good about increasing the value of something they already worked for, so go for it. Here's another tip. Add a 1.5 to 2 second pause to the no thanks to let the idea of lost potential income sink in. With multipliers for increased winnings at the end of a level, our benchmark is a 15% engagement rate. Okay, tip number 5, surprise chest boxes. These have a world of possibilities. The traffic driver for the mystery box can appear only after specific achievements like collecting a certain number of bombs, or the traffic driver can appear on a timer basis every few hours. Or you can choose to have the CTA appear based on the player's progress, such as every 2 or 3 levels. These surprise boxes have a great engagement rate. We're looking at 30% as your benchmark. And finally, our placement tip number 6, a daily bonus retention booster. Give players a free daily bonus and use the rewarded video to multiply the offer. You can also provide rewarded videos to users as a way to unlock daily rewards that usually cost real money. With all of your placements, maximizing the value you provide your players and encouraging them to watch multiple ads should be your focus. Progressive loading will take care of the zero latency part for these multiple ads to ensure a perfect user experience. But you'll need to focus on A/B testing different types of rewards to understand which have the biggest impact on engagement and usage rates for your RV placements. Start by A/B testing different types of rewards to see which work best for each placement. Change only the reward to understand if it's valuable enough to your users. Then try A/B testing the capping and pacing for the same placement. You want to understand if there's value in limiting exposure or if there are gains to be made from changing or even removing limitations. And you definitely want to A/B test segmentation. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to the perfect RV strategy because multiple persona play your game. What's good for your engaged users may not be good for your non-engaged users, and what you think works for your paying users might not actually optimize for what your paying users want. You might be surprised that for one of our clients, the paying users actually watched many more rewarded videos than the non-paying users, especially at higher levels in the game. Try segmenting by paying and non-paying users, session length, loyal and casual players, or really anything that works for your specific needs. Segment your users to tailor the ad experience for each user type. Test your strategy to see what works for each group, then optimize accordingly. Basically, you want to A/B test everything and iterate until you reach perfection. Make sure you implement any changes gradually with just one small change at a time. If something doesn't perform well, you can improve it. If something performs well, you can improve it too. Now, this may seem obvious to most of you, but adding in-app bidding to your monetization is an excellent way to make the most of your rewarded video ad placements. In-app bidding strengthens competition for every single impression, as all of the ad networks try to outbid their competitors to fill your inventory. Since all of the ad networks have the opportunity to fill your ad request, you never leave potential money on the table. And because bids are received in real time, which is more accurate than the flat eCPM or historical data used in waterfalls, you never undersell your impressions. It's important to understand that ad networks sometimes pay top dollar for specific ad impressions. We've seen CPMs exceed $200 in some cases. Now, you might not account for such a high bid in your waterfall. If you set your top instance at $50, you'd miss out on potential revenue like that. In-app bidding auctions ensure you always maximize your earnings and you don't miss out on huge bids. Plus, the automation of in-app bidding saves you tons of time that you don't need to spend manually managing your waterfall. So you can use that time to run more A/B tests on placements and rewards, or just play more games for inspo. The best practices that I've shared with you will keep your users happy and engaged in your game, keep them coming back to your rewarded video ad placements, and as a result, drive up your ARPDAU over the long run. Just remember, an optimized rewarded video strategy can be the difference between a game business struggling to make a profit and one meeting all its KPIs. Progressive loading is a game changer that unlocks what all developers strive for: a perfect user experience, no time-consuming latency management, and increased ad revenue. Leverage the power of progressive loading technology with in-app bidding and a mix of classic and innovative ad placements to effectively scale game growth. In an industry where the finest of margins can make all the difference, this winning trifecta helps provide a competitive advantage to scale game growth. Thank you.